Okay, my friends, it is time to talk about Aristotle. Now, Aristotle was a philosopher. Many of you know about Aristotle and what a fundamental thinker he was. And it's unbelievable when you think about some of the concepts that those great philosophers came up with thousands of years ago that we're still using today. Now, Aristotle got some things wrong. There's no question about that. But his big claim to fame is that he invented formal logic. And when you're thinking about what convinces you to do something, or what makes you to decide that something makes more sense as opposed to another, you are using logic. And logic, when you're talking about persuasive speeches, is incredibly important because your audience has to follow along with what your points are in order for them to start to understand why you're even talking about what you're talking about. So in this case, if you go back and you look at the assignment, you know that you have to have a cover page. Oh, hold on. Alexa, stop. Now you know. Okay, I am back. So when you're doing the assignment, you know that you have to have an organizational pattern, and you're going to put that on your cover page so I know what you're trying to do. You also have to pick one of the three pillars of persuasion. So everyone responds to persuasive strategies differently. Some of you are all about the numbers. You want hard facts, you want real data, you want to look at statistics, you want to see trends over time. You're logical. You're a logical person, and that makes sense to you. Some of you have a really strong sense of right and wrong. So a more ethical approach, ethos, is something that you might respond to. So if someone you respect, let's say that you really respect a world leader or a celebrity or whoever, your mom, your dad, they have a great reputation and they've always done the right thing, and that's someone that you respect, then you're probably someone who might respond to ethics. And if you're someone who responds to emotions, you're someone who's going to respond to the strategies of pathos. So I want you to think about some of the things that you see on TV. I want you to think of the commercials that you respond to. I want you to think about the music that you respond to. I want you to think about the news stories that you respond to. Okay? So when you're looking at some of that stuff, you can see how you're responding. So how many of you respond to logic? Okay, and how many of you are responding to your sense of right and wrong? Okay, and how many are very emotionally driven? Okay, so I want to use a couple of examples. So, for instance, I want you to think about when you're watching TV alone at night and the ASPCA comes on and Sarah McLachlan is singing In the Arms of an Angel and they're showing all those pets in cages. Now, I'm not saying that you're watching TV alone at night, and certainly, I mean, of course I'm not. Hello. But think about that. I mean, that is meant to draw on your heartstrings, right? It's late at night. You're alone. You're watching TV. There's a dog that just reminds you that you're alone, and they're playing this sad song. I mean, that is all about the emotions of it. Like, you could go rescue this animal. You could not be alone right now, right? All right, that's obviously using emotions. And you can think of some other things that you see about ethos and logos, right? The logic of something. Insurance companies use that a lot. Investment firms use it a lot, like the logic of it. If something is a really good price, why would you pay more? I mean, it's just super logical, right? And then the ethics of something. When they're talking about their reputation, when they're talking about how they've been in business for many years, or talking about how they're an authority on something, all right? That's something ethical. So I want you to think about the kids at the border. Any number of these, logos, ethos, or pathos, could apply to that. But in your case, I want you to choose one that you're really going to emphasize the most. Now, some of you have a lot of experience doing persuasive speaking, and you know that you're probably going to have a little bit of everything. But either way, I want you to choose one particular pillar of persuasion that you are specifically gearing your argument to. And when you choose one of these, you can see this chart is offering you some of the other strategies that you're going to use within the writing. Pathos is a storytelling one. Ethos is a storytelling one. Logic is a storytelling one, because every single speech tells a story. But how are you going to appeal to your audience? Now, you know your audience, right? We're all 18 to 30. Well, not all of us, so we don't need to talk about that. We're all between 18 and 30-ish. So you know about your age group of your audience. They're all in college. So I want you to think, okay, here's the topic I'm addressing. Which is the best strategy to use for the audience I'm speaking to? You got to know your audience, right? If you want to do a poll or you want to set up a discussion board and take some inventory of who believes what to help your strategies when you're picking a pillar of persuasion, go for it. All right, let me know. You could do that. You could do a survey if you want. But you are going to choose one of these which you are going to swim around in the most. All right? So I want you to review this material. I want you to go to the book and review the material that talks about logos, ethos, and pathos, and pick wisely. All right? Pick the one that best supports not only your topic, but helps you execute your organizational pattern the best. All right? Logos, ethos, pathos. Okay. I'll see you next when we talk about Maslow's hierarchy of need.